Hey everyone, welcome back to Palmetto Zoo. My name is Wix and today we are building two different penguin habitats. We are building for the little penguin and the African, and we're also doing an underwater viewing tunnel. So check it out. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Palmetto Zoo. Yes, last video we did the sea lion habitat at amphitheater and it was very well received by the community, and I am still very proud of that build. But we have this area called Seaside Surfers, which is the area that we are working on today. I have again a pretty long video, so I felt like I had to cut out a lot of things again and just have the more important things in the video. So as you see here today, we already have like the kind of like habitat divided between the two penguins that we're making a habitat for today. Yes, we are making a split habitat between the little penguins and the African penguin. And I have a lot of different inspiration. As you can see here, I found this picture that kind of like has a super nice penguin area, and I felt like I wanted to incorporate that into Palmetto Zoo mixed with and a little bit of the habitat from the Zoo Tampa with the Lighthouse and the small little shack for these penguins here. But I felt like I had to do it my own way. So in that way that I had this bigger lighthouse. So if you are around this area, you will be able to see that lighthouse from each angle, from the African penguin to the little penguins. So yeah, we're skipping a lot today and like jumping back and forth. It's kind of like a little bit of a messy episode, but I try to keep the most relevant things into this build today. But yeah, and as you also can see, I actually accidentally missed out on some recording because my recording program did not want to cooperate. So I had to go back and use my OBS program to record some stuff from there. But in any case, we are still here and we got some nice footage for you all. So the first habitat I'm doing here today is the little penguin. And I've not done any penguin habitats at all in Planet Zoo, so this was also kind of like a fun little challenge for me to do this and see what can I do and etc. And I'm actually super stoked for how it turned out today. And as you can see, I'm trying to get in so the little penguins can move into the water. And in the start, they didn't really have a traversable area there, but the more rocks and the more lightweight stones and rocks I place around here, they will eventually be able to jump into the water. But yeah, I wanted to build this for a long time, like just to hold like seaside surfers areas, and I felt like it was about time to incorporate this into Palmetto Zoo. And I felt like with all these new pieces and etc., we've gotten that I could make it look pretty nice. So that's kind of like what you've seen me doing here today. Making this little house here that I felt like could kind of work as a little surf shack house as well. It's kind of like the same we did last time where we did the little shop inside. So I just kept the same kind of vibe between everything here. So we could kind of like have it not be too separated from that area too, because it's a little bit of a walk between them. But hopefully I can fill in a few things that is relevant for this whole area in the meantime, or like all the gaps between these areas here. But I do think that of all the aquatic animals, now we have sea lions, we have penguins, we have otters. I think at that sense that I'm kind of done with the aquatic side of Palmetto Zoo. I think now we're gonna focus more on the reptile house, the nocturnal house that we still haven't built yet. We're gonna focus a little bit on, I still want meerkats as well. So yeah, we're definitely still adding a bunch of stuff throughout the entire series still. So at the back here, I felt like I had this little poster here, and I've never really used this poster here before, like that has this blue-white icy look, which is obviously for the emperor penguins. But in any case, I felt like with the color scheme I've kind of worked with, I felt like it kind of worked very well here as a little backstop for the background here. And then obviously I'm adding these guys in again, and then I'm just adding a few little penguin statues and decals later on in the video. But as you can see here, really trying to get everything immersed into each other so everything doesn't look super random. And I feel like we're really doing a good job here. And it's so nice that the little penguins are actually on the Australian kind of side, so it actually mixes pretty well with the Tasmanian devil and all that stuff too. So yeah, it's actually pretty nice. You will see some shots at the end of the video here where you can see how nicely this zoo has started to come together with everything, and it's just really freaking awesome, man. Like I'm super stoked about how this whole Palmetto Zoo is starting to look, and you can really see a lot of the areas are starting to come together nicely, and I think that's awesome. And that's what we love about Planet Zoo, in that sense that all the things you make eventually just mingle and mash together perfectly. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm just doing a little bit of stuff everywhere around here, adding the penguins, and then afterwards I'm trying to add a little bit of stuff in the underwater viewing area. And we also have that on the left, as you can see, where you will be able to see both of them right next to each other. It looks super dope with this split section in the underwater tunnel. You will see that eventually the later on we get into the build too. But in general, as I say, this is also more or less of a longer video because I did add 2 habitats in here and I had to cut out a lot of stuff as well. So just trying to keep it somewhat relevant to all the things that we are adding. The fishing thing here, I couldn't really do much of that, to just only place it there. So that's kind of like a meh, but it turned out pretty nice in any case. So that is what we're doing today. And here I'm trying to pretty much just make everything look nice. That is what we're doing. And you can see the end result at the end where everything just immersively mixed together nicely. And I love when that happens. It's a very satisfying feeling to have this as well. So, but yeah, we are moving more forward here with the penguin habitat, as you can see, just trying to make these sort of little edges so it kind of mixes very nicely together with the area. And then afterwards here, I'm kind of like coloring the rocks here to a more grayish color, so we get the same color everywhere around this whole habitat here. I have not given you guys a lot of underwater foliage design kind of thing, because it's mainly a lot of the same. Like I use the same pieces and just trying to make it look nicely underneath the ground, also for the underwater viewing area, so it's not completely empty and not just like sandbanks and stuff, but a little bit of plants, a little bit of rocks, and a little bit of, you know, just usual stuff you see on the water. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've done here. Here I'm just making a fake entrance for the penguins here too. I felt like it was kind of neat to just have like a little extra opening here for them. And yeah, it kind of turned out pretty well, honestly. But as you can see here, we're pretty getting close to finishing off the whole habitat here, and we're doing this little nicer curve wall set as well here. And then afterwards, we're just adding a little bit of foliage and more rocks to get this area and habitat really nice vibes. In the start, the little penguins could not swim around here, but that is only until I changed some of the rock placements. So now they can actually get into the water and they can swim around. I know the underwater viewing is like underneath their kind of shelter, but I made sure that they will be able to swim there too. So you will be able to spot them in the underwater viewing area, which could have been made a little bit more, I guess, organized. But the penguins, African penguins, definitely have a lot better under viewing situation, where the little penguins are more like just, you have to be lucky to spot them, but you can spot them underneath there. So but yeah, we're adding a little bit of foliage here because I felt like it kind of needed it, instead of all just this dry rock and stuff, since it is penguins. So I just added a little bit of stuff and a little bit of tree here. And as you can see, as soon as we get this sort of mixed in, the area really shines nice and cozy. And that's kind of like what I want to do with this area. Like, whole Palmetto Zoo is supposed to be a realistic base zoo, but with realistic theming, and I feel like we kind of have done that so far in the entire zoo, like the Wild North area. Now we have the seaside surfers here, and then we're gonna have like the more like Floridian Palmetto-ish kind of vibe at the back of the zoo. And then we have the little barnyard situation area with the kids zone and everything. So everything will kind of be in its own kind of theme, but everything will be mixed very nicely together. Yes, you can see I'm using this new hedge from the barnyard pack too, which is amazing and really makes a nice touch here that you can kind of like put it on the side there and kind of close off an area with it. And I have not used these pieces before, so it was very nice and very refreshing to get this sort of pieces into the game. So we could kind of use that as well, because I've been missing some nice hedges, honestly, but we did it perfectly here now. So just adding a little bit more detailing to the little shack here, and giving it a little bit of supports and just making it look nicely, mixing with all the other pieces together. Because at the start I was not really certain how I wanted to have this completed. You know, it was a big chaos, like big construction site at the start, and sometimes when you have that, it becomes too overwhelming at some point. But eventually, the more you do add without stressing about it, you will eventually get a superb result, which we in this case have gotten with already just this habitat, as you can see here. Only thing I do wish is that the penguins obviously is a little bit bigger, but you can spot them slowly. There are some small little ones, and it's always been fun for me to try to build these sort of waterish aquatic areas, especially also the underwater viewing situation. And yeah, I just think this turned out amazing. And I know last time I said the sea lion habitat was my best, but I keep on changing my mind, because there goes so much like planning and organizing into an area like this, right? And I feel like having two habitats mixed together, like a split section like this, and actually still have the same theme all over around, is really nice, and it really gives blood on the teeth in a way, how you say, to keep on going and build more. Yes, but as you can see here in the background now, I'm building the top of the lighthouse. Sometimes I like to just build blank, like canvas buildings all the way around, so I can kind of see and know what I want to do, and then eventually I'll just, you know, build further into it, as you can see here that I'm doing today, using the iron bits here or metal pieces, and then afterwards I'm kind of like just getting this whole set firmly nice together, and then I'm adding the top, like the little glass house on top of the lighthouse here, and everything is pretty much custom here. And I did not do this in one go. This was trial and error, honestly, but we eventually got there, and I am super happy for how this lighthouse turned out. I do not think I want to add any lighting up there, because we don't really have any lights that goes in like in a mechanical round way in that way. So unfortunately we'll just have it, I put in these windows so it's more darker on this side, and we'll just have it like that. Doing a little custom roof with the Indonesian tile pieces, which is freaking underrated and amazing pieces. Doing a little top here, and I was trying to find this top for a long time, but I finally found it through it. There's so many pieces that I know of, but I just don't know which pack they're in. But I finally found it, so great. Adding windows to the lighthouse here, and afterwards we're adding a few decals, and then we are slowly moving towards the other habitat that will also be more or less like a little bit of a more, I guess you can call it, more rocky habitat compared to this one. This one is a little bit more detailed, and this one is mainly taken from, as I say, Zoo Tampa, with the whole concept of a lighthouse for the penguins, and just mix it all together with the surroundings, as you can see, as we have done. And I'm kind of happy for this whole area specifically. Also, as I say, I love that it mixes, like the transitioning is kind of from Australia into this area, and it's going to be super cool and more immersive the more we add to this area specifically. So I'm just finishing up this whole habitat here, adding some Oceania driftwood packs and a little bit of foliage. Seeing the penguins swimming around is just freaking awesome. We're a little bit underwater here, fixing up that stuff, as you can see. And here we have the underwater viewing area where they can look through. And it's, as I say, as you can see, it's a little bit under the shelter, so you have to get the penguins to actually swim inside here. So I gave them a little tunnel system and stuff to fiddle around with, and they're actually using it. It's just very rare that this happens, more or less. So, but yeah, we're slowly finishing off this penguin habitat here. As you can see, we're adding these little knobs on the windows. And as I told you guys before, it's very important that you add this, because it's very easy for if you have to change a glass. Very, very easy to change. Take the knobs off and click it. That is just my glacier brain that kind of comes to work here. So, but yeah, we have to keep it realistic, and that's kind of like my way to keep it realistic. So yeah, let's get back to what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm adding this door that we had from the souvenir pack and adding some mesh behind it just to give it a little bit of a different look compared to all the other doors we have around the zoo. And underneath there, that's where I'm trying to do a lot of cool things that you will see later on in the video. And there's also some stuff that just will be there because, you know, the video was very too long and I just couldn't keep on recording and recording, even though I was in a groove. So you will see some things in the cinematics that you are not seeing me building here. But yeah, we are slowly doing the interior of these little penguins here. It's not much, but it's just a little bit of realistic touches here and there just to give it a little bit of an extra look inside of the habitat. So I'm just basically just doing my own go on realistic stuff inside here. So the staff facilities, staff people can do what they need to do, go in here, prepare a little bit of stuff. And even if they have to wash out some stuff, they have a little drainage for that too. And I'm adding these awesome water boilers, water tanks here as well, to kind of like keep it a little bit at peace. I know there's a little bit of fish right there right now, but it's mainly just going to be removed later on in the video as well, where the janitors will put in their stuff. So, but yeah, we're just kind of like slowly adding a little bit of realism, like a little socket here, an outlet, and just cleaning out the walls so you don't have anything poking through. And it's not too many things I do in here. It's basically just what I felt like was necessary, and then afterwards just pretty much moving forward and doing other stuff to the other habitat that we are building as well. The other habitat will not be as detailed as this one, because this is mainly the, how do you say it, the main theme of this whole area specifically. So, but yeah, we're still having some good times with it. And as you can see here, I'm just adding a little bit of different things inside the interior of the habitat here. So the staff people can just feel like they're actually doing some stuff. Putting in the red and blue pipes here so people can know which are black and which is hot and which is cold, obviously. And then afterwards, we're kind of like just finishing up with a few assets here and there inside here, and then we're just moving over to a little extra thing that I am doing custom as well. So I feel like a water area like this, like a little aquatic area like this, needs obviously some sort of a life vest situation here. So what I'm doing is that I had this cool idea to try to get these knobs from the lighting and just trying to make a circle out of this and just trying to make a little life ring sort of situation here, as you can see. And then afterwards just hanging it up a little bit everywhere to kind of like add a little bit of extra, you know, sea life on it here. And I think it actually works very, very well on what I'm doing here. It actually turned out pretty cool, and the scaling is on point as well. And yeah, it's just super nice. In this case, as you can see, I'm hanging it on the wall here and hanging it on the other wall, and then I'm also using it for the other side. But we are going over to build on the other habitat right now, which is going to be more kind of like this, as you see me sharing right now, this kind of picture. I wanted to have it a little bit more African, but still kind of like in the same vibe, so it's not too crazy of a jump between theming, but I just kind of wanted them to immerse themselves into each other. So you will see this blue color first on these bamboo pillars. I do eventually change it to another like a brownish color, which I think is a little bit more better and actually fitted a little bit better inside here. We're putting these surfboards in because we still gotta represent the whole surf side situation here, as I told you guys. And then afterwards, we're kind of like just going a little bit crazy with the detailing and the custom fencing. As you can see here in the background, it's really getting like so much done here in this video, honestly. And I'm super proud and stoked that we have a whole kind of like area finished now, more or less. We obviously gotta fix the gaps, and I do want to add a little bit more realism things, like a few more water tanks and stuff like that, a whole water facility system, since we have 3 water habitats here, like the sea lions, the African, and the little penguins. So having this sort of like water facility system between those would do wonders and would work very well. So maybe that will be something we will do maybe on stream, or maybe we'll do another video of that eventually. Though after this, I do not entirely know what animal or what area I more or less want to do next time, because I've been very focused on this area, as you guys can hear, because I've wanted to make it one of my best areas in the whole zoo, and I feel like I got away with that pretty nicely here. As I say, there are a few things that I just left as it is, but you will eventually see some more stuff getting added throughout the series, and you will also see a few extra things that you haven't seen me build just on the cinematics, because of, you know, the scaling of this whole video, and how much you can actually add. So but yeah, just after that here, I'm adding to the Oceana sticks here. I'm adding this little mesh fence with roping, and it actually turns out to be super neat as well. And everything just here just comes together nicely. And that's kind of like what I want and I need. And I do probably gonna add some like guest facilities, maybe a toilet here over at the backside, and maybe even a little sitting area as well for the people to rest and chill. So yeah, that's most likely what we will be doing. But as you can see here, this habitat didn't take as much time as the first one, which were basically the whole video. But I kind of wanted to have that, as I said, like I wanted to have this sort of not so detailed, but just still detailed, kind of like African penguin style. And it really works wonders for me here. And I think everything here comes together nicely. And I'm a big fan of this whole area in general. I can totally see it when we finally finish the entire thing together, and all the gaps and stuff come nicely up. So I wanted to add a little bit of extra things here, so I just used this conservation built as a template first, but I eventually do remove it and add just a normal rock wall here, as you can see in the background now. And after that, I kind of like just go with it there and making it feel like it's supposed to be like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing and what we've done today, guys. This is the African penguin habitat and the little penguin habitat. First time ever building penguin habitats. I'm pretty happy for how it turned out, 100%. But let me know in the comments down below which of the habitat you like the most, and which animal would you love to see in Palmetto Zoo. Give me your suggestions in the description below, and if you want to join the Discord, you are more than welcome to. Links and all that stuff are in the description as well. And remember to like the video. It really helps. And if this video gets more than 30 likes, I will do a little zoo tour for you all, so you guys can kind of like get a little recap on what has been done in this zoo. So yeah, basically just doing a little bit of stuff in the bottom here too, at the underwater, and it's not too fancy though, just making it a little bit blue. And that's pretty much it, guys. Enjoy the cinematics, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.